Hi and welcome. This is Addie, and today we are going to be talking about Larry McMurtry. He was born on June 3rd, 1936, in Archer City, Texas, a city which served as a model for Thalia, Texas, the fictional city in which many of his stories are set. He earned degrees at both Rice University and the University of North Texas. As a youth, McMurtry's family didn't have any books. Instead, on the porch at night, they engaged in verbal storytelling. When he was 6, McMurtry's cousin dropped off 19 books in the McMurtry family's mailbox. McMurtry read the books to pieces. His writing process is similarly as intense. As of 2008, he claimed to write 10 pages a day, regardless of weekends or holidays. His first experience with Hollywood and the movies was when his novel, Horsemen Pass By, was adapted into the movie HUD in 1963. Fast forward past 6 other scripts he wrote, all adapted from novels, to 2006, where we see McMurtry accepting an Oscar award in his coats, jeans, and cowboy boots on behalf of the screenplay I analyzed, Brokeback Mountain. Like many of McMurtry's other stories, Brokeback Mountain takes place in the American West. I was drawn to it because of its central themes of self-discovery and intimacy, which McMurtry and producer/screenwriter Diana Ossana wrote in collaboration with one another. An interesting aspect of the plot is how many years it spans. As cowboy lovers Ennis Del Mar, played by Heath Ledger, and Jack Twist, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, maneuver their way through their lives, we are able to see how strong their love becomes when they are able to reconnect. This theme of missed connections is another strength of the plot, which leads to the dissatisfying conclusion. The pain and longing that Ennis feels paying a final visit to Jack's house is open and raw, as the emotions we have come to expect from McMurtry's writing is. This emotion probably would not have been as palpable if it weren't for McMurtry's attention to his characters. This can be glimpsed in other films that he has written, like Terms of Endearment and The Last Picture Show as well, but McMurtry appears to be at peak form here. Ennis is the concept of a screenwriter who understands exactly what it means to keep your emotions deep within yourself, only to have them boil over in intense outbursts. Ennis denies himself what he wants. He knows what he longs for, but he is too realistic to consider that his desires could become a reality. He is the antithesis of the more outspoken Jack. Jack's rodeo habit and his engagement with prostitutes in Mexico show his recklessness and impulsivity. He too is handicapped by Ennis's inability to commit to a lifestyle he doesn't believe is feasible. Their personalities are at odds, and yet their attraction to one another is undeniable, and their chemistry and longing for one another serve to push the story to its unavoidable conclusion. McMurtry has also been praised for his ability to write female characters. Alma, Ennis's wife, showcases this. She could be written as an antagonist by a less compassionate screenwriter, but McMurtry crafts her into another victim of Ennis's unrealized desires. She tries so hard to hold her family together, and one can see that she loves Ennis, but her love isn't possible. Ultimately, Ennis's repressed emotions prove devastating to the woman and the man he cares about the most. The tone of Brokeback Mountain, as McMurtry writes it, is somber and longing. Like the desolate Wyoming atmosphere, there are very few elaborate set pieces in the script. The cowboys instead are left with their own emotions, and there is no scene or scenery they can hide behind. The recurring images and props create the tone as well. The constant references to the Brokeback Mountain, where the men spent their first summer together, the reappearance of Ennis's shirt at the end of the movie, serve as visual reminders that there perhaps existed a future where all the characters could have been happy, but now it is too late. McMurtry, like most writers, returns to a lot of the same tropes in a lot of his writings. The setting of all his stories are American Western towns, which he claims remain popular regardless of when you write a Western story. All his writing has been adaptations of other authors' writings, including his own, which is interesting. Evidence can be seen in his descriptions, which read more novelistically than strictly screenplay. He claims that he prefers both screenplays and novels, and putting them together is even better. He describes the novel as the art and the screenplay as the craft, and his stories are not particularly decorous or overblown. Rather like his simple, elegant writing style, McMurtry embraces stories about a few people going about their daily lives, rather like character studies. These are my citations. Thank you for listening, and if you are interested in learning more about Larry McMurtry's writing process, good news! He wrote a book called Books, a memoir, in 2008.